Okay, so we're still building this table that we did some data validation rules and a little bit more on that. Thinking about some, we did the 5 numbers that had to be there, but this is also why when you certain fields, you have to put like an M or an F for male or female. Um, you can also set up like which particular states it could be. If you only had 3 possibilities, you could set up a rule for that. Relating to dates, that dates have to be after a certain date. You can use greater than, less than, equal to, any of those type of things. There's also a section in your sim book about wildcards that you ought to check out. That could, for instance, you can set it up to where it has to be like, and then the first 2 letters have to be MA and then 3 digits. So you can use the word like and asterisk or question marks, depending on how that might be. So it's definitely some good things to check out. So we're going to move into another topic now that is good for users with database. And you've seen this, I guarantee you, in terms of setting up what's called a combo box. Now, that term doesn't mean anything to you, but here under category, and I'm again going to do this under design view. So under category, right now it's set up as short text where we'd have to type in what it would be, whether it be generators, hand tools, plumbing, sawing, tractors, whatever they might be. So I want to create a drop-down box that will let me choose from one of those 5 choices. So that's called a lookup wizard. Now I could tie this to another field, which you might have to, okay, from another table, and there's a wizard to do that, and you'll probably see that at some point where you have to walk through that. Or you can type your own list. In this example, we're going to type our own list. And we put them in right here. So the first one would be generators. And then I go right below it. The next one is hand tools. Right below that, plumbing. Right below that, sawing, cutting, and grinding. And then right below that, tractors. And I do like to make these extra long. Even though you can see them, I make them a little bit longer because the way Access works with that drop down sometimes. And I'm good with the spelling, so I'm going to go next. I want to limit to this list, which means I have to pick one of those 5, and I'm not going to have multiple values. Choose finish, save it, and then guess what? We're going to be able to go and test it out. So under category, there's my drop down, and there is my choices. Okay, and I will fill those in for each one of those a little bit later. So that's one thing that you can do. Another thing that you can do, and this one's pretty good, is when you're dealing with dates and times and things. Right now, we would have to put in a particular date. But you ever wonder why when you put in your phone number, you have those little underlines underneath it, or they put the parentheses in automatically for you, or date and time, they force you to choose and type the month a certain way? That's called an input mask, okay? So what we're going to do right here, it's set up as date and time, but right down here is the input mask, and we're going to go build one. And it will be a little wizard for us to do that. And we're going to do a medium date, which means that's the format we're going to use of the day, then the month, and then the year. And then you just choose next. And then it sets all this up for you and you're ready to go, and you just choose next and finish. Okay. And it's taken care of. Then we would go through and like for each one of these, we want each one of these filled out. So we're going to do yes through each one of these and make sure that we don't leave any of them blank as we go through each one of these. So we have to fill them in. Okay. And required yes. So we're setting up rules for each one of these fields, and they're unique depending on what kind of data we're going to put in them. We already did yes for that one, and under comments, we'll leave that as not required. Okay. So, and as I go to datasheet view, that I'm going to say no on that. And that means as I go through the first one, I would have to choose what category it is, and this one is tractors. Got to make sure you point at it. Fills it in, tab across, I already filled those in. The date purchased, I'm going to put that in, it's October 10th of 2017. So That's how you would put that one in. And because I filled them all up, it would allow me to move on. So that's the end of that one. There's some really good reading in section 2 with some of the things that you have to be aware of. Definitely spend some time on that as you're going through your sim book to understand data validation and some of the different ways that you can set up rules within your different fields. It's really important in terms of some of that information. So that's it, and I will come back and we will be talking about relationships with the last video.